Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Boruto Naruto Next Generations Chapter 73. When we last left our heroes, there was still some conflict going on in the Leaf. Shikamaru and Kawaki were kind of butting heads over the Amado situation. Naruto's tried to call a peace there. But then Amado calls in, catching everyone up on what's happened with Code and Ada, and telling them he was on his way to the Leaf with Ada and Daimon, about a 3 or 4 day trip out, to explain everything. Meanwhile, Team 7 has a new mission that this chapter's title, A Special Mission, seems to be about. But as he's leaving, he has an emotional conversation with Hinata about the fact that he died on his last mission. And then has a conversation with Momoshiki, who tells him that once Boruto gives in to despair, Momoshiki will be able to overpower Boruto, or Boruto will just give up and give his body to Momoshiki, and that is why Momo is sticking around. Meanwhile, Code and Bug head to the Ten Tails dimension, knowing that soon enough Boruto and Kawaki will have enough mastery over their Otsutsuki powers to come there too, and condenses the Ten Tails into a legion of these tailed men, each equipped with claw marks, and with Code having the ability to see through them and speak through them. As Code tells it, they are smaller and more useful. So that's where we left off with Code getting his own little private army. So let's dive right on into Chapter 73, A Special Mission. And we have an uncomfortable Sarada picture because it's been a while since we've had an uncomfortably risque picture of a 13-year-old. Yeah. But anyway, we open at Hokage Mansion as the original members of Team 7 have arrived from where we left them last month. A mission only our team can carry out? We've been out of action for so long, this is quite sudden. It must be something big. And Boruto comments, maybe. Maybe it's as simple as Uncle Shikamaru finally realizing that we are the most brilliant team in the whole village. And Mitsuki mentions Kawaki will be with us, so it'll be the launch of the new Team 7 this time. Which, once again, that's like I brought up with the Himawari line last month, that will be different in the manga, or in the anime, because the new Team 7 has had missions. They had the whole Kiri War that I guess just didn't happen in manga canon. It's always a little bit questionable what anime arcs are in the manga, because, like, the initial Mist field trip was, but I guess the Funado War was not there in manga canon. I don't know. But anyway, Boruto looks in, and he sees Kawaki's already there, with Sumire and Shikamaru. And he just notes, Kawaki, and then thinks, speaking of which, this is the first time I've seen him since I came back to life. And Kawaki just looks at him, yo, I can't believe you revived yourself. Talk about a shock. Yeah, sorry for all the fuss. But as you can see, I'm perfectly fine now. I mean, Kawaki caused a lot of that fuss too, Boruto. It was like your plan. It was both of your plans. But Kawaki did it. Kawaki did the thing. And we get even more Sumire focus. One of these days, all of this like random focus on Sumire will finally come into clarity. We get a bit of it right away. As either Kawaki or Sumire flashes back to Kawaki asking Sumire, "You're not gonna condemn me for killing Boruto?" And Sumire just looks at them all kind of concerned over all of the drama going on here. And then she just says, putting all that aside, "You definitely look well, Boruto. I'm so relieved." And Boruto notes her, "Class rep. Sorry to have worried you." And Sarada, who I'm not sure has seen Sumire since, like, the Ao arc. I'm not sure if she's been involved in any scene with Sumire since then. Long time no see. And Kawaki just watches all of this. Distinctly eyeing Boruto, concerned about what exactly transpired to revive him. And then Konohamaru is here, which is another split from manga canon, or from anime canon, because, in the anime, by this point, Sarada as Chunin is team captain. But if Konohamaru is going to be team captain here, like, maybe it's a big enough mission that they just, like, needed Jonin too. I don't know. We'll see. And we'll also see months from now, years even, when the anime gets this far. Okay, guys, enough fun for the day. Sorry for the sudden summons, but... And Shikamaru cuts him off. Let me jump right to the heart of it. And all five of them look towards Shikamaru. Konoha Village is dealing with various issues right now. Well, that's true for any village all the time. Yeah, this is a world where people have, like, superpowers and do crimes and shit sometimes. But Konoha has been subject to especially perilous situations lately. Which, like, yeah, Kara, all of the Kara shit. First, Boruto. And Boruto looks at him, huh? For quite a while now. We've had no idea when Momoshiki might take over your consciousness and run amok, yet not only have we not found any concrete solutions, your physical body has now become completely Otsutsuki. Yeah, but like that sort of helped Boruto, at least until the prophesied despair. Because for the moment, until he sort of surrenders to despair, Boruto is fine, mostly. I mean, I guess Momo can still, like, kind of take over a little bit, but, like, not really permanently. Boruto just comments, I'm not liking the sound of this. But Shikamaru moves on. Next, you, Kawaki. And Kawaki looks at him, not that you were ever docile, but now that you got karma back, plus Ishiki's abilities, you're an entity that we can no longer control at all. Control is not a great word to use with Kawaki. I don't think Kawaki's gonna like the idea of you trying to control him, Shikamaru. And Kawaki just glares. Shikamaru goes on, even if, unlike Boruto, there's no risk of Ishiki actually possessing you anymore. From the standpoint that we can't keep that power in check. Frankly, as the ones responsible for maintaining the peace and order of this village, we have to treat you as a threat. We see Sumire, sort of concerned at Shikamaru's words here. A quick shot of Boruto and Mitsuki as Kawaki then, continues his antagonism with Shikamaru. Hey, why don't you just come out and say it? Mitsuki tries to stop him. Let's not get defensive. And Sarada tells him what Master Shikamaru is saying is the plain truth. And Boruto agrees. This is the current state of Konoha. He's just making sure we know that. And Kawaki looks back at them, and they have kind of turned, they're not really helping Kawaki here. And I'm not sure what Kawaki thinks about them. And Shikamaru goes on, that's right. I feel bad having to put it so bluntly to you, but Konoha is currently bearing these two giant bombs right now. So I wanted to start off with all of you fully aware of this. And the original trio just takes that in, just the weight of everything going on in this series. There's more. Amado called not too long ago. We didn't know his fate after Code abducted him, but it seems he's okay. And Kawaki is almost angry there. He survived? Persistent bastard. And Shikamaru goes on, we still don't know exactly how he got out of danger, but in the process, it seems he rescinded the limiter suppressing Code's power. And that gets a reaction. Boruto especially. Damn it! What is wrong with that old man? Well, he didn't want to die, Boruto. He was very upfront. If I get captured, I'm helping Code. I'm not dying for y'all. Shikamaru goes on, I'm sure it was unavoidable. In any case, with his full power restored, I hear Code's strength exceeds even Jigen's, who it took both Naruto and Sasuke together to drive back. So the way Shikamaru... I was always sort of curious, when they said Jigen, do they mean pre-Ishiki revival or post-Ishiki revival? And the bit about Naruto and Sasuke together very much implies that it's pre-Ishiki revival, which, I mean, technically Naruto and Sasuke lost that fight. And now, there's Sans Rinnegan and Ninetales, which puts them, as I've been saying since all that happened, at even more of a on-the-back foot situation. Sumire reacts, no way! Then again, it should still be less than Otsutsuki Ishiki's. There we go. Okay. So while he's definitely a formidable foe, we should be able to deal with him. And Sarada goes on, don't tell me our mission is for us to take down Code, using Boruto and Kawaki's Otsutsuki powers. But Shikamaru tells them no, that's not it. Especially because they still have all of the Ada information on the way. Yesterday, when Code attacked us in Lab 3, a certain woman showed up. And this is the first any of them are hearing of Ada. A woman? Some of you may have already heard, but her ability instantly enchants everyone in her presence, and renders them powerless. And notably... I missed the top part of that page. Her name is Ada. And then all that. And then Mitsuki repeats her name. Ada? And we specifically, after that, get Boruto and Kawaki, the two people who are unaffected by her powers. Even I couldn't do a thing. It was a first for me. Delta and I could have dealt with just code, but... and Sarada's quiet for a moment as Mitsuki goes on, and how are we supposed to stand against someone like that? And Shikamaru goes on, we only learned this afterward, but there's a hole in her ability. Apparently, Otsutsuki are immune to its effect. And Sarada's putting the pieces together. You mean, and Shikamaru finishes, at the present, Boruto and Kawaki, these two bomb brats Konoha's harboring, are one and only battle asset against Ada's ability. Shikamaru is also very lucky that Naruto is not here to scold him for calling his sons bomb brats. But okay. And Boruto and Kawaki both sort of, really, like, they feel the weight. There's this, like, ooh sound effect as they acknowledge just, like, the weight of their situation right now. And another Sumire shot. Always the Sumire shots. I'm still curious where exactly Kishi is taking her character. And Sarada goes on, so our mission is to take Ada down. Well, now that Ada's supposedly on their side, no. Nope. That's not it either. And that just... Shikamaru is just confusing them at this point. Huh? And then we cut to a train, where that most uncomfortable trio is all hanging out. Amado, Daimon, and Ada. And Ada is using her Senrigan to watch the conversation over in the Leaf, and just comments, I wonder what Shikajir is planning. And Amado is just glaring at her, still nervous to be on this train with her. And back in the Leaf, Sarada goes on, what do you mean? First Code, now Ada? It's like a heap of problems. So what are we supposed to... Also, I don't think Shikamaru knows about the Senrigan, so he might say something stupid to, like, that could fuck over their negotiations with Ada. We'll see what comes of that. Boruto goes on, quit holding back and tell us what our mission is. Relax. I'm getting to the crucial part now. Ada originally showed up in front of us as Code's ally and collaborator. However, Mai and Amado's plan bore fruit, and as a result she cut her ties with Code. That gets everyone's attention. Kawaki in particular asks, what do you mean? Essentially, Code is now on his own. He may have regained full power, but he lost his powerful comrades. And Boruto reacts, wow, that's great news. But Sarada's a little skeptical. Cut ties? But then, what's Ada's status now? She's currently heading here. To Konoha. Shocking, once again, our quintet over there. Also, Shikamaru clearly is unaware of the Ten Tails army. He may have lost his initial powerful comrades, but Code sure has a whole host of more powerful comrades. And Kawaki questions, what the? You mean she jumped ship to our side? That's right. And there lies the issue. All skills and jutsu are powerless thanks to her ability, and the Hokage's power and influence mean nothing to her. She doesn't need to follow anyone's orders. If she wanted to, it wouldn't be difficult for her to take over not just Konoha or the Land of Fire, but the entire world. I'm not exaggerating. That's how much freedom she has. And it sure is lucky that, like, that's not really her goal at all. Because if it was, they'd all be kind of fucked. Shikamaru goes on, you get it, right? We've got to avoid making an enemy out of her at all costs. And to that end, I devised this next mission of yours. It's not going to be force Kawaki to go on a date, is it? That would just be, maybe, like, good for some really... Well, no, Ada's an uncomfortable enough character that I wouldn't really believe it would be funny. Just really awkward. Shikamaru continues, it wouldn't be an overstatement to say that it all hinges on your actions, whether Ada ends up as a friend or foe to Konoha. And Sarada finally asks the question, what do you want us to do? Cohabitate. Okay. More people in the Uzumaki house. Alright. This also sounds a bit like a fanfic trope, not gonna lie. Sarada finally just asks, huh? And Boruto just turns to Mitsuki, what's cohabitate mean? And Mitsuki tells him, live together. But Kawaki is just stunned. You're kidding, right? Konohamaru goes on, not at all. We're being absolutely serious. Listen, it's not gonna be like some ultra fun Team 7 boarding house. The only ones cohabitating will be Boruto, Kawaki, and Ada. Okay. I don't know. My general concerns about Ada as a character are still sort of in play, so we'll see what comes of all this. I don't know. Sarada's just stunned. What? And Boruto and Kawaki look at each other. What? Oh, and Ada, watching with her Senrigan, is just stunned. As Amado questions, what's the matter, Ada? Living together? From the get-go? And, Ada's weird status as villain slash blushing maiden is always weird, and especially, post-Samurai 8, I'm not really sure I trust Kishimoto with this kind of topic at all. But okay. Kawaki goes on, that ain't funny. What for? Yeah, you don't have time for fun and games. But Sarada works it out. Hold on. I think I got it. This mission's goal is surveillance, right? Which, that does mean that Ada can hear all this. She won't be left thinking, oh, this is a romance thing. She's aware that she's being spied on. And Kawaki reacts to that as Shikamaru tells Sarada, good intuition. Correct. I've already explained Ada's level of risk. Normally, regulations would dictate that she be monitored. However, our usual methods would likely end up getting compromised, because there's a chance that the Watchers would voluntarily do things that are favorable to her. Okay, and I'm a little glad Shikamaru is not just, giving Ada what she wants here. Even if Ada herself didn't deliberately try anything. And Sarada listens to this. In that respect, Otsutsuki won't become captives of her. Thus, only Boruto and Kawaki can fill those roles. And Boruto works it out then, so we're to be your watchdogs, to make sure Ada doesn't stir up mischief? That's right. In any case, at the very least, determine how willing she is to cooperate with Konoha. And Kawaki just mutters, what did I do to earn this? Besides, what if she decides she's not on board with this plan? If that's the case, she'll have to give up her chance to be allowed inside Konoha. This is a safety measure we cannot budge on. Well, I mean, it's the exact opposite. She's going to be super on board with this plan. Mitsuki goes on, but isn't that too forceful a starting stance? Well, we don't want to do anything to piss her off, of course, but we need to draw the line somewhere. We'll end up tightening the noose around our own necks if we give her the upper hand with a weak deal. Besides, we get a shot of Boruto who doesn't quite realize what Shikamaru is getting at here. I have a feeling that she'll be game about this cohabitation proposal. And we see Sarada confused as Mitsuki questions, any specific grounds for thinking so? It's awkward for me to be saying this, but since it's crucial to the success of this mission, Ada's got a crush on you, Kawaki. Just coming right out and saying it. Kawaki barely reacts. Boruto's just, what? And Sarada also, for real? And we cut to Ada on the train, just blushing, grabbing her head. He said it. Aw, Shika dear, how could you? And Amado just turns to her. Huh? What happened? What have they been talking about since earlier? And Daimon, jumps onto his sister. Whoa! You okay, big sis? Your heart's badumping out of this world! Just, the blushing maiden bit of her. And she mutters, I might die before we reach Konoha. And Amado is a little confused. I don't think he's actually hopeful that will happen. But, he definitely would not mind her dying. But don't worry, Daimon. It's fine. In fact, it's more than fine. This is exactly what I've been seeking. Right now, I am truly, fatally in love. That's a choice word. That's a specific word choice. We'll see if that ends up, Kawaki ends up killing her in the end, or something. And Amado is just sort of not really expecting the side of Ada on some level, I think. Shikamaru goes on, though. This is Ada's #1 reason for coming to Konoha. Kawaki, I don't want to intrude on your private life or personal feelings, but just be really careful how you react toward her. I am exaggerating when I say that Konoha's future hinges on your conduct. And Kawaki just looks at him. Damn it, for real? And then Boruto just thinks, hey, any ordinary person crushes on Ada, right? So she's got a huge pool to pick from. Why go after Kawaki, on whom her ability doesn't work? Well, that's why, Boruto. Some people just want someone who actually likes them. But okay. And we have another random Sumire shot. I don't know. That might be referencing some kind of understanding between Sumire and Ada? I don't know. Oh yeah, because she then starts to speak. This is purely a guess on my part, but isn't it a bit distasteful to think that someone likes you because of an innate ability or some jutsu of yours? And Boruto, Sarada, and Kawaki all turn to her. I think that Miss Ada, that this Miss Ada wants to experience a completely ordinary romance. Which yeah, she's right on the money there. I'm curious if that's sort of fueling any like Sumi-Boru ships. I don't know. And then just sort of stops herself. Not that I know for sure. Mitsuki looks at her, and Ada goes back to listening in. And Kawaki just growls, I don't get it. That's just plain illogical. Maybe she's stupid. But Shikamaru, revealing that he knows about the Senryugan, I forgot that he knew that. By the way, you should avoid saying bad things about her. Ada can see everything, and hear it all. She has those abilities too. What? They all sort of react, Kawaki, the heck? And Sarada lets out, no way, are you serious? She might not be watching us this minute, but it seems she can also replay past events, like skimming through a video recording. And Boruto just mutters, for real? That's way beyond cheating. Which, like, yeah. Like, if she can observe present events, that's one thing. And there's at least a, like, can't go before her own birth, stipulation there. But still. Shikamaru goes on, at any rate, everything being said here should be considered leaked. Of course, I'm disclosing your mission to you, knowing that. So the diplomatic maneuvering has already begun. Right, Ada? I'm back on the train. Ada sort of acknowledges what Shikamaru said. And Kawaki goes on, so in short, you want us to monitor Ada and play nice with her as much as possible. Yep. That would be most appreciated by we of Konoha. Kawaki just mutters, I really don't like this. I'd much rather throw myself at Code. And Shikamaru tells him, be that as it may. It's downright impossible to nail down that bastard's location. But if we can gain Ada's help, we'll know his movements precisely. Well, does the Senryon work in other dimensions? I don't think it does. So as long as he's not on Earth, they can't really get, I don't even think Ada knows. And Konohamaru then turns to Boruto. And you, Boruto, your job doesn't consist of just monitoring Ada. You'll be there to mediate between Kawaki and Ada, too. And Boruto just reacts, huh? And Shikamaru fills in, we can't see Kawaki managing all of this alone, so it might seem overblown, but remember, the two of them not hitting it off means that Konoha's future is in peril as well. And Boruto just reacts, no way! That's the attitude you should have. Got it? And Boruto just looks at them, this mission is annoying. So yeah, we're starting to really get the glimpse of what this next part of the arc will look like. This sort of, I don't want to say like a rom-com, because I really don't think it should take that route, given Ada's creepy predilection on a barely teenage boy. But I don't know. We'll see what Kishimoto does with this. Konohamaru then goes on, in addition, Sarada and Mitsuki, you'll be watching the three of them from outside together with me. Both of them sort of acknowledge that. Shikamaru continues, your main job will be sending us status reports, but you're to jump in and defuse the situation if any trouble breaks out. Wipe your teammates' butts for them, as it were. Since we have no idea when Boruto might run amok again. Alright, that's a little mean, Shikamaru. That being said, how much Ada's influence will affect each of you is still an unknown factor. The sensory unit will be continuously supporting you, but report any odd behaviors you see in each other right away, so we can deal with it. And Sarada is a little hesitant on that order, but Mitsuki just fills in, yes sir. Listen, no matter how difficult a situation you're in, there's an order of priority to the actions you ought to take. And the more extreme the circumstances, the faster you need to determine what that is. As advisor to the Hokage, that's the overwhelming bulk of my work. Thus, to tackle the issues that we need to resolve preferentially, I came up with this plan. And Boruto takes all this in. I'm not asking whether you can do it or not. Rather, it's, will you do it or not? And Boruto tells him, the answer is obvious, since there doesn't seem to be any option to say no. And it's interesting here, I call them the quintet throughout this chapter, but it really is interesting to me the way that Sumire is framed with the rest of Team 7 here. It might just be she happens to be standing over there, but there's no reason Kishi and Ikemoto couldn't have put her standing more with Shikamaru and Konohamaru, given she's, spent a lot of time with Amado and Shikamaru over the past couple years. But continuously, she is placed with the members of Team 7, which makes it seem like she's not given a mission here, but it's sure, the way the story is structured feels like she's a part of it. I don't know. And then we cut to the roof, where Sasuke is talking. It's not just Ada and Kabuki. Boruto is a target of the monitoring too. This is glorified house arrest. Though if you've authorized it, I have no say in the matter. And he's talking to Naruto, who, I guess has okayed this glorified house arrest, as Sasuke puts it. But he defends himself, saying, both Boruto and Kabuki are the type to rush into a fight even against someone they have no chance of defeating. They wouldn't meekly obey if we ordered them to stand aside. By assigning them a mission and giving them responsibility, you put them cleverly under control. It's a very Shikamaru-like ploy. At least we'll know what they're up to. Better than them dying who knows where. Alright, but I don't know, I'm wondering if Boruto's temporary death has affected Naruto in a way he's not... he says to Kabuki, no hard feelings about the killing my son thing, but I'm curious if Naruto actually feels no hard feelings there. Or if he's just sort of, stomaching it all down and finding a slightly more productive outlet for it than rage. But Sasuke just, listens to him as he says this, and back in the office, Shikamaru goes on, listen, anything could happen on this mission. There might even be times where you won't be able to wait for orders. In such cases, you have leave to play it by ear within your respective role. And as we look at the quintet again, we see it's not a quintet, but a sextet. Because Momo is there. Just looming over Boruto, and Kabuki sees him, which I'm not sure Kabuki has seen Momo in this state before. That's an interesting development there. And Kabuki just stares. Momo's gone now. Boruto notices, huh? What is it? And Kabuki tells him, just now. And back on the roof, Sasuke feels it too. And Naruto asks, what's the matter? And Sasuke just tells him, never mind. This. And we flash back to Sasuke being somewhat conscious during that, initial prophecy between Boruto and Momo at the end of the versus Momoshiki arc. Though that required his Rinne Sharingan to see, and he doesn't have that anymore. But I guess he didn't see Momo, though Kabuki did. Maybe it's a karma thing for Kabuki. I don't know. Interesting note there to sort of expand on later. And Sasuke goes on, this feeling. It's similar to that day. I wonder... and back on the train, we end the chapter with Ada commenting, Shikajir, you have such intriguing ideas. To be continued. So, this chapter is really a lot of exposition. It is 40 pages of everyone sitting in a room, or standing in a room, and talking about their next plan. Getting Team 7 up to speed about Ada, and discussing their initial countermeasures, and how some of them are countermeasures for, things that Team 7 has not really thought through yet. So as a result, there's not, a whole lot to really dig into, especially thematically, your character development-wise. It's just sort of, a lot of talking, a lot of making sure everyone knows everything, and making sure they know what they're doing to sort of no, I don't want to say move against Ada, but like to what's the word? Fuck. My train of thought left somewhere. What they need to do to sort of keep the peace with her. You know, give her sort of what she wants, but also to use what she wants as a way to spy on her. It's clever. And as Naruto mentions, to keep Boruto and Kawaki from running off to Code, who at the moment they might not have much of a chance against. Especially thanks to his at this point, secret army. That being said, we still don't know what Amado is going to convey to the Leaf. That was like 2 chapters ago, it felt like that would be the next chapter when we find all that out. And we still don't know. But that's still coming. You know, they're still on the way. One of these days they'll get here. Maybe next chapter they'll get here. Now that what they're going to do once Ada arrives is all planned out, it is kind of time for Ada to arrive. But then there's just that random Momoshiki bit. And like, you know, normally when Momo appears, it's to taunt Boruto, or to take over Boruto. And he does neither of those things. He just stands there, gets seen by Kawaki, which is interesting, and also felt by Sasuke. And, I don't know, like, what's he doing? It's a little, like, the way he just suddenly appears, it feels a little almost, like, horror-esque. I don't know, it's a little creepy. He just stands there for a minute. And then disappears. Also, is Momo shorter than he was? Because he's about Boruto's height on page 39. And I didn't think he was Boruto's height. So I don't know. The only, like, most of my focus is on those last few pages. Because while the rest of the chapter is good, is just sort of talking about what they're going to try to do in the future. And it gives, you know, the first quarter or so is entirely, like, or the first third even, is entirely catch up, making sure everyone is all on the same page. There's not a whole lot to talk about there. Like, this really is just mission planning. Aside from a few things of note, like the way Sumire is constantly framed to the rest of Team 7 is, as I said before, very interesting. Naruto acknowledging this is, like, house arrest for the Otsutsuki boys is not really what I was... Like, I thought that, you know... how do I put this? Like... of course Naruto would have okayed the plan if Shikamaru was going through with it, but it's how upfront Naruto is about this being a plot that's a little shocking to me. Like, it makes sense, I guess. Like, it's the right move, I'd argue. And I do think that maybe some of it is fueled by lingering frustration with Kawaki for the whole killing his son thing. Like, at least we'll know what they're up to, meaning Boruto and Kawaki, especially considering that Boruto and Kawaki, just like 2 days before this, revealed they had an entire contingency plan to kill Boruto, should the need arise. I think Naruto has some bitterness towards that. He's not letting it show that much, because that would be unprofessional and not nice of him, but I think he is a little resentful. But anyway... I don't know, there's not that much here. It's a lot of catch-up, a lot of talking about what's going to happen, and then there's the Sumire placement, and the Momo bit, and Naruto. Like, there's a little bit here, but it's all sort of not that big, which is fine for, like, one chapter. I'm hoping next chapter is a lot more, like, things happening, and not talking about things happening in the future. But for now, we'll just sort of have to wait and see. So with that said, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, you know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!